What's up, everybody? My name's Tim Williams. We're here to break down tonight's evening MLB DraftKings slate. It was originally set for 7 games. We've already got one postponed. If you're new to the channel, my name's Tim. We've been breaking down these MLB DraftKings slates pretty much daily, mainly just focusing on these main contests. So if you like that, you like DFS, you're in the right spot. Hit that like button, subscribe. I really appreciate everybody that's been reaching out, and this has just been really, really fun. So without any further ado, let's just jump right in. So first things first, this White Sox Indians game is canceled. It's postponed. So we'll move on here. Next, we have the Braves and the Yankees, 8 over under here. Yankees are favored at home. Pretty good pitching matchup here. Anderson going against Kluber. I will say, full disclaimer, I don't know which direction really to go in this one. There's some okay pitching. Anderson being one of maybe even the better spend ups here at 8,400. Kluber 9,300 against the Braves team who's first in home runs, 15th in average, 8th in on base percentage. That's just too much to pay for Kluber, especially in that good hitting environment. But Anderson seems like an okay play. I think a lot of people are going to be going after the Yankees bats here. Yankees bats are actually fairly cheap. Guys that I think are in play for the Yankees would be Judge at 5.3, DJ 4.7, Stanton at 4.4, Torres at 4.4, and then Sanchez at 4.3. I don't think you're going to see really these Yankees bats any lower. However, they're priced that way for a reason. They're kind of slumping out the gate. Either way you look at it, it's like if you think Anderson is going to have a good game, then I would go with Anderson, and it kind of gives you leverage against the people who are playing the Yankees. If you think Anderson's going to just blow up in this environment, then take the Yankees hitters and stack against people who are taking Anderson. I think this is just going to be a good overall game. I don't really know how much exposure I'm personally going to get to it. On the Braves side, guys that I like maybe as one-offs would be Freeman at 5.9, Albies at 4.8, Ozuna at 4.8. It kind of starts there. There's a ton of value for the Braves in the second half of that lineup, like Pablo Sandoval, et cetera. So this is an interesting one. For sure. Next, we have the Diamondbacks taking on the Reds, 8 over under here. Reds favorited. Reds having some injuries in this one as well. You have Merrill Kelly pitching for the D-backs going against Cincinnati Reds. The Reds' own Mahale. I think Mahale is probably one of the better spend ups here. I guess we're just kind of looking for strikeout upside at this point. There's no real clear ace on this. Maybe people will be kind of hesitant to go to Mahale, but I doubt it. I mean, the Diamondbacks are 13th in strikeouts, 17th in average, 11th in on base percentage. Not a bad team on paper, but they're honestly not a very good team. 5th in home runs, which can be kind of scary. Cole Calhoun, I think, is the one guy that stands out for me on the D-backs at 3K. A lot of power upside. He's hitting in a nice park. Other than that, the D-backs are kind of priced up. And then on the other side, I like the pitching for the Reds here in this spot. And then just in general, the Reds, I know they're missing some key pieces, but that might allow me to spend up in some other spots. So I kind of like the Reds as like a decent full stack. Again, there's not a ton I love on the slate in general. But look at what the Reds are doing. 2nd in average, 3rd in on base percentage, 1st in home runs. They're 24th in strikeouts. This team is overall pretty solid. So guys in play, Suarez at 5.3, Winker's probably leading off at 4,500, Votto at 4.5K, and then Naquin, no, he's been hot, and now he's 5,100. I highly doubt anyone's going to be paying up for him. So that could be kind of an interesting way to sneak that bat in, is just to pay up for that. So there's definitely some options on this Reds team for sure. And I think this might be, besides that Yankees Braves game, Reds might be a really good sneaky stack to own, especially if that Red Sox game gets canceled, and we'll talk about that. Next here, we have the Pirates and the Tigers, 8 over under. Tigers favored it at home. This is a 7-inning game, so honestly, I'm probably not going to get to any of the hitters here. It's just kind of an ugly matchup. Keller versus Skubal. Skubal is going to be followed up by Turnbull, his debut. Maybe in play on the Pirates side, Reynolds at 3.7K, Frazier at 3.8K, Moran 3.8K. At those prices, they're not going to hurt you. They're probably going to lose out on an at-bat because of the length of game. And it is chilly out in Detroit, but Yeah, not a whole lot I love. And then on the Tiger side, it's Goodrum. It's the guys that can hit lefties. Or Ramos at 4.8K is catcher home run upside. Show up at 3.3s, fine, but really I would just skip over this game. This one here, the Blue Jays at the Red Sox, 10 over under, the highest over under on the slate. Red Sox are favorited at home. It was a beautiful day out in Boston. It's raining right now. Winds are going to be blowing. I don't know if they're going to get to play this game or they're going to play it in full. I will say the Red Sox would be my favorite stack option today, like Martinez, Bogarts, Devers, Kike Hernandez. I think Vasquez at 4.9K is a pretty good catcher spend up. I don't think anyone's really going to pay for him at that spot. I mean, the Red Sox in general, first in average, first in on base percentage, eighth in home runs. They're not really striking out either. One of the better offenses right now in baseball, which is crazy to say. So I like the Red Sox hitting into this one. Blue Jays, I think there's some spots that are good. Bichette at 5.8K, Semien at 5.2. They're all really priced up. So it's really hard to get to like more than one or two of these Blue Jays. And then the pitching matchup here is terrible. You have Anthony Kay and Thornton going against Richards here. I wouldn't pay for either of these spots. If this game plays, I think it is going to be the highest running total on the slate, but just keep an eye out for weather. I don't really know if they're going to get to all of this game. Next, we have the Mets and the Cubs, 7.5 over under. Mets favorited on the road. You have Peterson, who honestly might be even a good option at this point against Cubs. Zach Davies has been terrible so far this year. 8.8K is just ridiculous. Peterson, on the other hand, saved some salary, 7.1K. Had a pretty good game last time out, struck some guys out. I mean, the Cubs, 8th in strikeouts, 30th in average, 27th in on base percentage. They've just been terrible. Their prices reflect it. The Mets, a little bit slow going too. The Mets actually remind me a lot of the Washington Nationals. Can hit for average, get on base, but they're just not hitting home runs. They're not striking out. So it's tough to get a full Mets stack there. But I think as one-offs, there's definitely some pieces in this game. Even Peterson might be a good pitcher. And then the last game here, Rays and the Royals. Royals slight favorites here. I could argue that the Rays could be the favorites in this one. 8 over under. Michael Wacha 7.2. Okay spot. I just don't trust him there. And then Junis, no thank you at 6.4K. The Rays had a huge game yesterday, so I might look to them again tonight. Meadows at 4.1K is just too cheap for his talent. Lowe at 4.3K is fairly cheap for his upside. Margot, I love that price, 2.9K. Give me some of that in the outfield. He can hit home runs. He can steal bases. This might be one of those things where it's like, even though the weather sucks in Kansas City, this might be one of the better spots on this slate, especially if that Yankee or that Blue Jays Red Sox game gets canceled. On the Royal side, they can hit too. They're not slouches either. Merrifield at 5.4K. It's kind of tough to pay up for that. Perez at 5.1K is pretty expensive for a catcher. Soler 3.4K, kind of struggling, but has that huge upside. This guy can hit 35 home runs in any given season. Santana 4.3K. Those are some examples of some guys I think could be in play for the Royals. But yeah, honestly, like pitching wise, it's not a good slate. So just kind of keep an eye out for weather. Keep an eye out for this last game. I think, they use both bullpens yesterday, the Rays and the Royals. So this could just be another game that just blows up. We'll see. And also the Reds, I think they're a pretty good stacking option too. So that's it. If you enjoyed this, thumbs up, please. That helps me a ton. Subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing these pretty much daily, breaking down these main contests. So really appreciate it. Best of luck to you. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.